Once upon a time, Little Frog lived at the bottom of a deep well. Little Frog had water to drink when he was thirsty and insects to eat when he was hungry. When he was tired, he was able to lie down on his back and look up at the sky that was high above the opening to the well. Little Frog had never spent a moment of his life outside of the well. Still, he was happy with his life, except for one thing. He was lonely and wanted someone to play with. Whenever an animal would come to the well to drink, Little Frog would call to the top of the well, "Hello! Would you like to come down and play with me? I have food and water and a nice place to live. It doesn't get any better than this." But the other animals would say, "Thanks, Little Frog, but we like it out here. The world is much bigger and much nicer out here than down in a well." But Little Frog would say, "Nothing can be better than this." Birds would come down into the well to drink, and Little Frog would ask them to play. "You should come outside and play with us," the birds would tell him. "The world is much bigger and much nicer out here than down in the well." But Little Frog would not believe them. "Nothing can be as nice as my home," Little Frog would say. After hearing Little Frog say the same thing over and over, most of the birds and animals quit talking to him. Little Frog could not understand why, but mainly he could not understand why nobody wanted to come to stay where he lived. One day, a small sparrow came again to drink at the well. Sparrow asked Little Frog to fly out with her into the big world outside. "The world is much bigger and much nicer out here than down in the well." Little Frog said, "Why do you lie to me? Nothing could be better than where I live." Sparrow became angry and flew away. Still, Sparrow came back again and again to drink at the well. Each time, Little Frog invited Sparrow to stay and play with him. Each time, Sparrow tried to tell Little Frog about the big world outside the well. Each time, Sparrow flew away. Then one day, Sparrow flew into the well. But instead of talking, Sparrow picked up Little Frog and flew back out of the well, taking Little Frog with her. At first, Little Frog could hardly see because of the bright sunshine outside the well. Then he opened his eyes and saw the world around him from high in the air. Little Frog was surprised by how much bigger the world was than he had ever believed before. Little Frog began to realize how tiny his well was. "Thank you, Sparrow. I'm grateful for what you have shown me. I apologize for not believing you. Please let me down here," he said. Sparrow set Little Frog down next to a great big beautiful pond and said, "I am sorry for taking you out of your home without your permission. I will take you back if you wish." Without answering, Little Frog jumped into the grass and saw many beautiful flowers of different colors. He had never seen such beautiful flowers and had never smelled such nice scents. The outside world is so big, so wonderful, and beautiful. The Little Frog finally cried out happily and jumped into the pond. Sparrow came back later and asked, "Little Frog, how do you like the world outside your well?" Little Frog said, "It is big and beautiful. Thank you very much. If you had not brought me out to see this world, I would have never known that there are such beautiful things that exist outside my well." Little Frog never tried to go back to his old well again.